In this unit, we're upping the ante on read, retell. So students are analyzing the story through the lens of story map. Part of the goal over this year of Bridges is to teach them in explicit ways how to read actively. That reading involves annotation, that it involves interaction, it involves talking. You are wearing two hats today. One as participant, you're kind of simulating being your students, and the other as educator.
So I'd like you to pause your conversation.
There's another one.
Pause your conversation.
Quel est le problème, le gros problème de Manuel?
La maman est morte.
La maman est morte. Maman est morte. Il y en a une autre?
En vélo, c'est quoi ça? En vélo.
The captions match protocol was designed to support teachers with their pacing, and also to support students with keeping up their stamina. How do I make sense of this? Well, I know from ELA words and from learning about story grammar that d'abord is a clue word when you read stories. It has to do with sequence. So this means first. This is the first page in the sequence of the chunk. So I'm going to assume this is where the caption goes.
Elle va.
Yes.
El garçon.
Oh, he. Oh, I forgot that pronoun. First he, yep.
Va means go.
Goes. I want to point out that because I was a lazy teacher and I rushed through the vocabulary and didn't have you practice it orally, how do you feel sharing your sentences with the class?
Shot in the dark.
Yeah, it's really hard to get those words off the page. You need to take time to help your students produce the language, the ones that they're going to be using a lot. It's worth it.
I would probably scaffold with the pages. Like I would give the strips with the more intricate text to like my higher level.
I teach the integrated program, and we have a double period, which is good. We tried that this year. Last year it was one period, and it wasn't long enough. And I'm here to talk to you today about how valuable we think the who do more information structure is. We tend to use it in pretty much we've adopted into all of our levels of ENL. We found that the kids actually get it. So they get it very quickly.
So what would you identify as the who right here? Girls in rural Kenya. Just girls?
In rural Kenya.
Girls in rural Kenya. This whole thing is now your who. So we don't always
because
just...
there's no action.
Yeah,
because there's no action word.
There's
So
no-
until you get to the action word, it's who.
Right. And what's the purpose of this right here? To describe. It's a way of describing these girls in a more specific way, right? So even if kids are not writing this right now, for them to be able to identify like, oh, sometimes what comes right after is describing, right?
This year, because I have double periods, I was able to, at the end of every lesson, there is a writing piece. In Unit 2, I found that that's where the students' writing really develops. They're beginning to connect their sentences, create these lengthy utterances in English, and they're gaining independence. So during the Unit 2, my personal goals was I wanted them to internalize transition words. Whatever they say, I wanted them to internalize the word, for example. Right, whatever, blah, blah, for example, right? I wanted it to just come naturally, like, without me reminding or asking for it. Also, and in addition, right? These are the words that I wanted them to just use it all the time. So I wanted them to develop confidence. During Unit 1, I noticed my students would write a couple of words and then miss. Is this correct? Is this correct? Do your students do that? So Unit 2, and I explicitly shared it with my students. No more miss, no more miss. Right, and then you show me, and then I check. I don't want you to ask me about every word. So develop independence. and also build stamina. So Unit 2 has a lot of writing. There is end of the unit, then there is a letter to the character, and then there is a post-assessment, so they're writing these paragraphs. So I wanted them to stop complaining about it, you become less averse. So that was my goal, and I was talking to them about it, that we are here to become better writers. You can learn how to speak, outside, but here this is for writing. Everything we do is to lead to writing.
I wrote using manipulatives to drive comprehension and writing.
And I'm going to jump on that with the idea we can't keep colored different pens in a classroom to save our lives, but the idea of like the different like shapes and squiggles and stuff, like the double lines, and then you would say someone would say the squiggly line for you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That to me is vital.
I would say our site kids are writing. They're writing like paragraphs. They're using transition words. They're doing a lot, and I feel like we are doing a lot, and we're accomplishing a lot with everything that you have given us to support them. So thank you.